All right, this week on Camera Talk, back to Tokyo Kogaku. Remember Tokyo Kogaku? No? Well, you're turning Japanese, remember? Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so.
I'm turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so.
So anyway, we've looked at the 58mm 1.4. Well, now we're going to look at its little brother, the 58 1.8. So, what do you think, mister? Is it a killer lens? Well, I don't know if it's actually killed anybody or not, but...
Oh shit, okay. Oh my god.
The optics are killer. So let's find out what it is together. So come on down with Dylan and I, and let's get it on.
Here I am in Vietnam. Rain is always coming down.
This is Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and Dylan. That's right. This week, just as the intro says, we're going back to Japan. Looking at part of the family of lenses that I have. Very popular with vintage lens collectors such as myself. The RE Auto Topcor and its fine family of samples. Now, the Topcor that we're going to be looking at this week is an RE Auto Topcor 58mm 1.8, and it's kind of like the little brother, just to keep this guy from messing with the lenses, which I know he wants to do badly. Let me put my fingerprints all over everything, Daddy. I know you. I know you. So do they. And anyway, so the 58mm 1.8, not as famous as its big brother, the 1.4, and I did an earlier, actually that's it right up here. Did an earlier video on it, but this week we're looking at the 58 1.8. Now, Topcor, to go way back, when it was, just known as Tokyo Kogaku. Hopefully I said that right.
Over-the-top rendition of the Japanese accent.
It began in 1932, an optics company, and they were the supplier for the Japanese Imperial Army. Dun dun dun. Now, for those obviously out there who know Nippon Kogaku, otherwise known as Nikon, they were the providers for the Japanese Imperial Navy. So we get Army versus Navy, kind of like a football game. But anyway, Tokyo Kogaku was supplier for the Army. And in 1953, they came out with an SLR that they labeled the Topcon. And the Topcon needed lenses, so a year later, 1954, they produced their own lenses to go with it. And they were calling them Topcor. They were mimicking the Nikkor that Nikon was doing, so Topcor from Topcon, right? Is what they were doing. And their lenses, 1954, again, built a reputation for good quality and everything else, but what led up to the collector's items that everybody wants today really began in the early 1960s. And we had Auto Topcors, and then the RE Topcor is what was kind of their top of the line. And that's what, that's what today, where everybody is seeking to collect. Now they have UV Topcors. They have a number of different ones actually that I can't remember. Super Topcors. But the RE Auto Topcor is the whole collection that I have. I have a 35, I have the 258s, I have a 100mm, and then the 135. And, sure, I'd like to get maybe the 28 or the 24 or 25, I forget which one it actually is, but I'm kind of tapped out as far as room on my shelf for more vintage lenses, so I think I'm going to stop with the ones I have. But anyway, so we're talking about the 58 1.8. It's, again, it was kind of considered like a kit lens in the day, and my particular model is from 1964. You know, they first came out in 1963, so a year later, well, the RE autos came out in 1964. So 1964 is when my particular lens was manufactured, based on the serial number. And you know, what it's famous for is you know, sharpness for sure, contrast, micro contrast, the great colors that it, the rendition, the bokeh, nice and smooth, and the overall image quality. You know, it was very comparable, and some people say even better than the Carl Zeisses, which were the big players in the day. You know, the Biotars and the Planars. They say it was equal to or better than those.
Get the fuck out of here.
And even the Summicrons, you know, for Leica. And as you know, I'm a Leica user myself. So, you know, when I hear something like, ooh, something's better than the Summicrons, it could be. I mean, again, this is a very nice, well-manufactured bit of optics. I mean, the focus ring is nice and smooth, but yet dampened. The aperture ring is clicked, and it's, again, very smooth. I mean, something that's older than I am.
From the naked dawn of man.
This thing, you know, competes with today's quality, except it's all metal, except for the rubber focus ring and the plastic caps. You know, but other than that, it's all metal and glass. Another difference between it and many of its brethren in the industry is the mount. It's an exacta mount. It's not exactly an exacta. That's kind of variation. It's got a few different variations. So, you know, they have different pins that line up that were designed to obviously be mounted on the top core. But with really even a cheap Chinese
ancient Chinese secret
exacta to whatever model you have. I have a Sony A7R2, so I have a exacta to NEX adapter, and it doesn't click in, but it when you turn it to mount it, it actually mounts very tight. So you don't need any latches to hold it in place or anything else. It's plenty secure. So again, it's not an exact match, but it's good enough. And you know, in this world, we find that good enough is kind of good enough for many things, isn't it? Yeah, it's good enough for everybody. So now again, another difference, even though this is a 58 1.8, there were a few different models, variations of this. And this particular one is a 99B. And again, due to the serial number, it's a 99 blah, 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 blah. So it starts with 99. So that tells you it's a 99B model, and it includes new optics compared to the previous one the year before. And they split the second and third elements. So it was always, you know, 6 elements, but it used to be 4 groups. But then they split 2 and 3, so then it became 5. No, used to be 3 groups, so it became 5 groups by splitting the second element into the 2 and 3 separate elements in itself. Did that sound pretty clear, or was that kind of confusing? But, well, you get the idea anyway.
Why I hate math.
So, anywho, the again, the popularity with these lenses is that they're really good bang for your buck. I mean, you can get this for $100 or cheaper. At least that's what I got it for. I haven't really looked at the prices in the last couple of years, but they may have gone skyrocketing. Its big brother, the 58 1.4, is really expensive and not all that plentiful out on the market, especially in good condition. But this little baby, you know, it's only a stop difference, and yet it's, you know, again, the quality is completely there. You know, you can't go wrong with the 58 1.8. Now it's the specs on this thing. You know, again, I just went through. It's 6 elements in 5 groups. It's close focus. Is how close? From here to here. 45 centimeters. That's not bad. 6 blades, aperture blades, which is very common for Japanese optics of the day. So, but they're curved aperture blades, so they're not straight aperture blades like a lot of Nikon glass, which will give you the hexagon shaped bokeh balls. But these ones, even though it's 6 blades, they're curved, so it retains somewhat of a circular bokeh ball. 220 grams, so it's not heavy at all. And overall, it's just a great little lens. I can't think of really anything to complain about with it. It rocks. So let's get us some shots of my Canon M50, which I use to record these videos. I focus in on the nameplate on the end of the 15 to 45 EFM lens, and I see how sharp I can get the lettering on the end of the lens. So let's do that. All right, that looks good right about there. Ready, buddy? 1, 2, 3. Usually you go that at 1, 2, 3. So that was that was at 1.8. Let's do 5.6 just for shit and giggles. You thought I was gonna say shit, didn't you? But I didn't. So let's do 5.6 and same thing. That's nice right there. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. So those were at 1.8 and at 5.6, just to show you the difference look between the two. And again, I'm about 1.5 meters away. And as usual, let's show you some shots of my little model man, because he's free. Dylan McDonald, who is, how old are you now? 2 years and 3 months old. Huh? So you're a little man growing up, are you? So here's Dylan at 1.8. And how about Dylan at 5.6? And how about some random stuff? Show you some other things other than you know who, just so he doesn't get a big head thinking, oh, more pictures of me, more pictures of me. So here's some random stuff at random apertures. Okay, well, I think that was pretty much it for our lens. So how about our little plug for our software? No, not software editing, photo editing software. Luminar Luminar AI and Luminar Neo. I guess Nia is kind of a mix between Neo and AI. Daddy's brain's a little off today. Just picked him up from his preschool, and here he is, like leaning his head on my hand. So I notice you're rather Rather timid today, rather laid back, easy going. Must have had a busy day at school, huh?
You just ate the most acid I've ever seen anybody eat in my life.
Teachers are always going on about how the girls were always taking turns hugging him and everything. Oh, he's so handsome. Such a handsome little man. Uh-huh. So, watch out for those girls.
That's weird.
Let me tell you, what else can we tell you? So, yeah, Luminar is supported, by the good folks out here who are looking for some economical software to edit their photos. It's, again, very competitive with Lightroom and Capture One and all, Photoshop and all the others out there. It's actually got some bells and whistles that they don't have. A lot of artificial intelligence was very cool. It speeds up your workflow. Anything to speed up that workflow is beneficial to us, isn't it? I think so. So, but yeah, economical. It's like $80 or so, and it's yours for life. Whatever upgrades they have, just download them and away you go. They give them away for free. Anywho, so what else can we say? How about you subscribe to our channel, right? Yeah, we need supporters, so subscribe. And we want to do this hand? Subscribe. And how about two hands together? Get your fingers up. And subscribe. Well, you're really lazy today, aren't you? So, what else do we like besides subscribers? YouTube, with its algorithm, they like the thumbs up, right? So how about we give us a thumbs up? And then we can show you the thumbs up girls. Thumbs up, do 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 do. Thumbs up, do 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 do. All right, so I think that pretty much wraps us up for today. So how did Topcor? Because you probably wonder, well, I haven't seen any Topcor lenses out on the market or at the store or anywhere else. Well, Topcon stopped producing cameras and whatnot for consumers back in 1980. And they're around today still, but they produce medical products and things like that. So just so you know, they're gone but not forgotten. So anyway, if you get yourself an opportunity to pick yourself up some RE Auto Topcor lenses, whether it's the 58, the 35, the 100, I would do it, right? Would you recommend these lenses? Yeah. Yes! So, anyway, well, who are we? Well, besides Dr. Scott and Dylan, we are Modesty Photography. And we're here to talk about tips and tricks and help you out with any kind of questions you may have about photography or lenses. I'm sure a lot of you experts out there already know everything you need to know, and Dr. Scott and Dylan are just wasting your time with blah, blah, blah nonsense. But
You suck!
for those who are beginners and may not know much about these types of things, we're here to teach you about that, right? Because remember, you belong here, right? And where do they belong? What's the name of the show? This was Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and Dylan. That's right. So come on back next week and we'll talk about some other lenses. We'll talk about some cameras maybe. We'll talk about camera stuff. Or if you leave some recommendations in the comment section, click below and leave a comment there. Speaking of click below, we forgot that part about the Luminar. Click below and you can save $10 if you purchase Luminar through our link. You'll save $10 and that gives us a little kickback too. We like kickback, right? Yeah, kickback. And why do we like kickback? Because Dylan wants $1 million, right? Wait, this finger here. $1 million.
$1 million.
So, all right, so come on back next week and we'll see you in the next episode. All right, gonna say bye-bye? All right, ready? Bye-bye.
Here I am, Vietnam. Rain is always coming.